Hey guys, welcome back. So today I have for you my February favorites video. I guess if you have seen these videos already, you know basically what they are. So I'm gonna start with beauty stuff, then I'm gonna go a bit into fashion, and then I always like to add a movie or a documentary film, just something to make things more interesting. So I'm gonna start with the first thing that I have been loving this month is actually this concealer from Estee Lauder. Now this one is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place full concealer with SPF 35. I actually use the shade 3W medium, and what I enjoy about this concealer is that it works incredible on top of pimples or scars. Like, it covers very well, it blends easily, it doesn't cake. um, I just love to pop these ones on my bags, like if I need a bit of a touch up. I just enjoy that it has a mirror, which I feel like is so practical. And I feel like this concealer is hardly mentioned, and I feel like it's one of the best one that I have ever tried. And this month, because I have suffered a bit from pimples now and then, I feel like this one has made an incredible job. Now, another beauty product that I have been enjoying is actually this liner from NYX, and this one is called the Super Skinny Eye Marker, and that's literally what it is. It is a marker. Now, this one has a small little felt tip. I don't feel like I have used this sort of liner since I feel like my Stila one, like almost 2 years ago. So I feel like I definitely needed um, something new when it comes to liners. And I feel what I enjoy about this one is that it's really dark, um, and it doesn't smudge, which to me that has to be the number one reason. And I feel like also because I'm not an expert when it comes to making cat eyes, I feel like this one is such an easier one to recreate. We see how it goes, because generally I feel that these types of liners dry out sooner than you ever thought that it will, but nonetheless, I have been enjoying it this month, and I feel like what it does, I'm happy with it. Now, another thing that I have been enjoying is actually this eyeshadow pencil from NARS. Now, this one is in the shade Hollywoodland. Now, oddly enough, I'm not using this as an eyeshadow. I actually have been using it more as a highlighter. I like to use it on the inner corners of the eye, on my brow bones, on my cheekbones, and also on my cupid's bow. And I feel like this gold is really subtle. Plus, it's really blendable, and I feel like if when I place it on my skin, it just doesn't look like actually I'm wearing too much highlighter, even though at first it looks a little bit pigmented, but then I blended it with my beauty blender, and overall I just love the way that it looks. It just makes my skin look really glowy. And I'm obsessed with the matte lip pencils, so I felt like I wanted to try now a different forms of this eyeshadows pencil because I feel like they're really practical. Now, another thing that I have been enjoying is the lipstick from MAC, and this one is in the shade Persistent. Persistent is a warm brown. I enjoy I enjoy my brown shades, and I feel like this one is another one, happy one added to the bunch. This one has a matte finish, which I feel like is really strange when you compare it to Ruby Woo, which is another matte one, and it's like they're two completely different formulas. This one feels really creamy on the lips, and I feel like it has a bit of a shine. A sheen. I feel it has a bit of a shine, and I don't know. I have been enjoying it actually wearing it this month. I feel like on me, this is basically a nude, and I just, like I said before, I love the texture of this lipstick, and definitely the color payoff is insane. Another thing that I have been enjoying is actually red nails. I actually wrote a blog post about my favorite red nail polishes, which I'm gonna link below. And I feel like my top one, well, I don't feel it is this one from Sally Hansen. And this one is one of their color therapy ones. These ones are infused with argan oil, which are supposed to make your cuticles moisturize and make your nails look more enriched. And actually, it's completely through. I actually am using the shade Ready to Glow, and this one is just a gorgeous cherry red with some shine, and I just love the way that it looks and definitely the way that it feels. And it's really odd, they don't smell at all like nail polishes, they have a different scent. I feel definitely it is the argan oil, but I have been enjoying this one this month, and I definitely want to test out other shades from this range because I feel like nonetheless I love the way that my nails feel. Now a bit of skincare, and the one product that I have been wearing nonstop is this one from Glossier. If you saw my morning skincare routine, this one was mentioned. I just enjoy this moisturizer, and this one is the rich priming moisturizer, and I feel like this is just glowiness on steroids. Like, it makes your skin look really glowy and fresh, and I like to wear it actually in the mornings. I feel like it's the mostly where I enjoy it, and I leave more my serums by night, and I feel like it works great underneath makeup, but I just like to wear it on its own. It just makes my skin look really glowy and very young, and I feel like it's such a luxurious face cream, and I feel like it was a great investment, and definitely just makes me think more about investing in Glossier skincare. And my skin actually have been enjoying it. I haven't breaking out as much, and I feel like this definitely has made my pores less visible. I'm just enjoying this product overall. Now it's time for a bit of a snack, and I do have been enjoying a bit of chewy caramels. Now I bought these ones from Marshalls, and they're called the Lovely Candy and Co. Chewy Original Caramels, and these are basically caramels that are gluten free and GMO free, which I feel like you don't feel so bad while you're eating them. I'm telling you, like, I have eaten so much of them. I cannot eat one more today, but I just really want to mention them because if you love chewy caramel, these ones are like a healthier version, I feel. And I love that they're individually packed, and I just feel like sometimes I need like a bit of a sugar rush, and this one just helped me control to eat a whole jar of Nutella, which I have in my pantry. So I'm loving this one, and I saw that they have a different um, variations of it. I saw one that it was a sea salt caramel one, and I feel like that's the next one that I want to pick up, but I'm enjoying this one so much, and I don't mind that it sticks all the way around my teeth. I just enjoy caramel in all its form. Now it's time for fashion, and there are two things that I have been enjoying. One is actually this rocker t-shirt that I bought from Forever 21, which I feel like is odd because I hardly buy clothes there anymore. But when I saw that I actually were making this style of t-shirts, I was really intrigued, and I went to one of their stores and saw this one, and I fell in love with it. It's actually a really distressed t-shirt, which I feel like is hilarious when you buy a piece of clothing that it is like this. But that's what I enjoy about it. It gives that vintage vibe. Um, and actually, they had it on white, but I decided to pick the black. I just enjoy more darker shades, and I don't know, I'm in love with it. This one actually is a medium. I feel like I shouldn't go for a larger size so it looks a little bit more loose and distressed, but nonetheless, this one still feels a little bit loose, like it hangs around my shoulders, and I have been loving this one. Actually, pairing up with my French sandals. If you haven't seen these ones, I already mentioned it on my most loved shoes. Now this one, I feel like it gives more of a feminine vibe, and I like to pair it up with like a really tough and edgy piece. That's why I feel like the t-shirt and the shoes work great together. And I actually have been wearing it with jeans, but I feel like I want to wear it next time with like a leather skirt. I feel like it creates such a cool combo, but I'm just enjoying mixing basically like styles, and these shoes with that rocker t-shirt have been my most loved this month. Now, by last, I always like to mention a film or a documentary or a TV series. And film wise, I feel one that I watched this month, which I really enjoy, was Jackie. Jackie is a film, actually, Natalie Portman's portrayed Jackie Kennedy, and Jackie Kennedy was the wife of, obviously, the first lady of John F. Kennedy. And this movie actually is placed in an interview that she had, and it's sort of in a way almost gives a summary of the events that happened while her husband was murdered. And I feel like you get to know her more. I mean, I always know her as a fashion icon. Like, I hardly ever thought that she was a really fragile woman. She was really content, and I feel like she was more a subject than a person. And I feel like on this film, you kind of get to see why she was the way that she was, and I feel like it's really touchy, and it's really full with emotions, and just basically you see just how much she had to change just to have the role uh, of a first lady in her life. And I feel like it's really interesting. Plus, I also love um, the the clothes that she actually wears in the movie. I mean, obviously because she was such a fashion icon, and definitely you see just the way that she actually, in a way, just shows herself, and it's a really good film. I feel like Natalie Portman gives a great performance, definitely. Now, another thing that I do want to mention is a documentary film that I saw recently on Netflix, and it's the one that I call The True Cause. I have heard this one for a while, and I was really intrigued, and finally I watched it. And I feel like if you love clothes, you should. I feel like it gives more of a common sense. What actually this documentary is about fast fashion, and what that is when big companies in a way compete with themselves to get clothes faster, and unfortunately enough, the people who make these clothes are basically developing countries, and they're placed on a low wage, on an environment that is filled with contamination and dangerousness. Like these people live day by day, like in the line of death. And it's really sad to see that this still happens this day. And it just makes you think a lot about what happens, you know, behind the fashion world, which is hardly ever spoken about. And it also gives you a more perspective view of the clothes that you buy from. So it's really interesting. I highly recommend it. And like I said before, it's on Netflix. Well, guys, that's basically it. I hope you enjoy my February favorites video. I'm definitely gonna link below my two recent videos and on top my subscribe button so you don't miss any of my recent uploads. Next Thursday, I'm going to do, I think it's gonna be a home haul. So I'll expect you guys to be there, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.